Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Abhijit Raghunathan. I am part of Crowd Product, or as many of you know, CoPro Technologies. So, what I'd like to do today is, before I start, good evening, hola, salam alaikum for all our friends who are watching from different parts of the world. Namaste, namaskaram. Um, Once, yeah, we've gotten that out of the way. So, this is something that I'd like to speak about today is the magic formula to the ideal career pathway. Because a lot of people, young, old, who are still in college, mostly who are still in college, the pandemic has actually affected us quite badly. So, and there'll be a lot of people who are without work, without jobs. So, what I'd like to do today is I'd like to speak about formulas or ideal ways to reach the ideal career pathway. So so this is also this is something that was done by Neil Shah, who's the program director of this really cool sports business school called GISP. So the formula is pretty simple, as you can see on this slide here. It is how I would like to contribute to the world plus my area of deep interest. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So there are three things that you need to figure out your ideal career pathway. One is your superpower, the second is your area of deep interest, and the third is how I want to contribute to the world. Well, this is actually easier said than done, but in a few short slides, I'm actually going to show you how you can actually figure all these three things out. So the first question is, how do I figure out my superpowers? So this is generally for people who are, I would say, between the ages of 18 and 25, who are still trying to figure out their superpower. Superpower doesn't mean that you can fly, or as much as many of us would like to fly, or we'd like to be able to see through things, invisible things, and all of that. But superpower is more of something that comes naturally to you. What are you good at? You could have done a course in engineering, but you might be very good at you might be very good at marketing, or you might be very good at writing. So writing is your superpower in that case. Or if you've taken up engineering again, as many people in India do, singing is your superpower. So how can you use singing to change the world? So as you can see, the pointers here, what are the abilities that come to me naturally? Stuff that I don't really need to put effort into if I'm doing. So for example, my superpower would be sports and business development and talking and speaking to people, as you can see, is something that comes very, very naturally to me. Where do I see the most results in my life? Now, by results, I don't mean sales numbers or sales targets or any kind of revenue targets or any kind of big metrics. But by results, I mean something that essentially makes me happy or makes you happy, and why I do things. So, for those of you who are familiar with Simon Sinek, you'll know there's a very cool thing called the Golden Circle, which is how, what, and why is the foundation of why you want to do something. You can do things. There is a how to do things. There is a what you're doing, but the why is something that is very, very important. What do people I trust say that I excel at? So this is what I call self audit. Self audit is something that something that somebody who knows you very well. It can be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. It can be your best friend. It can be anybody who's actually known you for a very, very long time. So what are these things that people say? What do they think that you're good at? Right. That is something that can give you perspective, insight into what you like to do. What activities give me the most energy? I don't think I have to elaborate anymore on this point. If I write or if I speak or if I'm saying something, it gives me a lot of energy. So that is something that you might want to figure out going forward. And what activities am I in the flow? Um, there's no better way of saying this, but trust me when I say that you will know when you are in the flow. I'll just put it like that. And when you're in the flow, magic happens. Just trust me on this. So, coming to the second part, how do I figure out my area of deep interest? So, area of interest can be anything, like I said earlier, writing or speaking or singing or whatever it is. If you take me as an example, theater is something that I would do for free, or public speaking, or that kind of stuff is what I would do for free. It can make me feel alive. It can give me a primal sense of joy, and something primal, something that gives me joy whenever I hear people doing it or see people doing it. Right. I think we covered the first 2 points here. What would I do for free? It's something it's something that you can actually find online. So I started working in a sports company when I was 18, and it was completely free. I didn't take any money for it. It made me feel truly alive. Yes. Did it make me give me primal joy? Primal joy. That's a bit subjective. So I wouldn't know. What activities make you lose track of time? So Einstein actually said this. He said I could be spending hours and hours and hours in the lab, but and I could lose track of time. I would skip meals. I would not eat. But that is something that makes me lose track of time. That is my area of deep interest. I can do it for like days together without realizing whether the sun has come up or set. What do I find an irresistible sense of inspiration, a reason to get out of bed? This is, most people, I would say, in their 30s or 40s, or even after that, find it very difficult to get out of bed because they find something. Motivational videos has actually become a very very big industry today. So what I would say is, the reason why people tell you to do something you're passionate about is because it's the only time when you can see things through. And if you're passionate about singing or dancing or fitness, trust me that that is something that you can really explore if it gets you out of the bed. What topics do I love to discuss and ponder? So this is a true story actually. So when I was in college, I used to love talking about football. It used to give me a lot of joy, but I had no listeners. But I didn't care. I just took my content and put it on the web for the whole world to see. So this is something that gives, what would you love to discuss? What is something that you cannot stop thinking about for the life of you, right? So that is something that all of these things would actually help you figure out your areas of deep interest. Um, so this is how you figure out your area of deep interest. So how do I want to contribute to the world now? If there's no avenue for you to contribute to the world, then let's face it, it'll make you happy, but the idea of living is to make yourself happy and to make several others happy as well. So what is an area in my life where I'm already making an impact? For those of you who are much younger, I know the answer to this would be a little difficult. Area in my life where I'm already making impact. A lot of people actually find an answer here in terms of social service, where NGOs is actually a place where you can actually make very very tangible impact. Social service is actually something that a lot of people really really look forward to. What does the world need more of? So Jack Ma is, as many of you know, who's the chairman or ex-chairman now, I think, of Alibaba. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he's the ex-chairman of Alibaba. So Jack Ma said, that opportunity lies in people's problems. So the money and opportunity lie where people are complaining. There's so many problems in the world today. The United Nations actually has their SDGs, their goals, their developmental goals, which they have to reach in the next in the next 10 years or 20 years. India has a 5-year plan. The United States has a 10-year plan. All of them have put problems forward and have actually spoken about their problems, enunciated their problems. So this is something that the world needs more of, is solutions to those problems. So that's where opportunities lie, and that's what I found that quote very interesting, as what Jack Ma said. What is an area that I would like to transform? There are so many areas today, so many opportunities that are available today for people. Even though we are in a time of crisis, in a time of pandemic, there are so many areas that you can actually transform, and things that you can do. What has significantly impacted my life doesn't have to be a profound impact, doesn't have to be a huge impact like like Usain Bolt, where he almost died in a car crash. It doesn't have to be a profound impact, but can be the little things that have impacted you in a certain way that you want to give back to the community. And trust me, this is something which will also help in marketing of products. If you actually think of how things can impact, Nike as a brand has impacted so many in the world. It's inspired so many people, and I think if you actually get a chance, you can just go to Nike Instagram. They are just fantabulous. There's not even a word, but I'll say it anyway. What is an issue that is significantly impacting my family, my community, taluk, state, country, planet, that I would like to address? So, this particular thing is, what is it that's impacting my family, me? That there are problems. Let's face it. We learn the best when there is adversity, and I'm sure COVID would have thrown a hell of a lot of problems your way. So, and it can be on a very, very small level as well. It can be within your family. If you're a nuclear family, 4 or 5 people, it can. What is it that is a problem? And people have actually found solutions to problems like that. How can I impact my community? How can I impact my country? Some of the best startups have actually come to the fore because of their impact to the country, impact to the community, the way they want to, or rather their product that is come to the fore, that is actually helping so many people. If you see, the simplest products are the ones that actually help a lot of people. And if you see companies like Dunzo, Facebook, no great tech or any great technology involved, but they are actually addressing very, very similar problems, very, very simple problems. And this is exactly where, according to me, my opinion, innovation lies. So, this is how you figure out how you would like to contribute to the world. I hope you have some kind of sense of clarity on all of these things. So this is my magic formula. For those of you who know me well personally, you know business development is my superpower. If business development came in like a large size underwear, I would wear it outside on top of my pants. That is, it's something that comes very, very natural to me. Something that gives me primal joy. Sport is my area of deep interest. I've been involved in sport from a very, very young age. Since I was 5 or 6, my parents started. I started playing tennis, and since then, my association with sport actually started. And my, something that I can impact, that would impact my family, community, taluk, village, city, town, is doing something in sport, because in my entire life I have seen the kind of impact that sports can have. If you see the 2007 World Cup that India won, or if you see South Africa winning the rugby, 1995 rugby, I think. If you actually see India winning the 1983 World Cup, the cricket industry wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for Kapil Dev's team that won the World Cup in 1983. So I am very, very very passionate about sports, as you can see. And what has come out of it? A successful football campaign, worked with several sports management media companies across the world. I've actually coached football for a few kids. I'm working on my AIFF coaching license as well. So this is my magic formula. For those who are watching this, for those who are confused on where your careers are, feel free to write to us at Crowd Product at any time. We have several internship opportunities open as well. In addition to all this, my sincere message to everybody who's watching this is to find that thing that you love to do and just be awesome at it. That is my message to everybody. Thank you, everybody.